Greetings, folks. This is Mason Weaver, author of Raunchy Secrets Only Wives Should Know. You can find our Facebook page at Raunchy Secrets Only Wives Should Know. We have an upcoming event in a few days, and I want to welcome you all to that event. We're going to discuss some of the things that keeps us apart as men and women because God put us together. Therefore, anything that keeps us apart is not from God. We have a big, massive problem for thousands of years between men and women. It's increasing in intensity right now. We all see it. Male and female see it. And we know it's there, and we have this disconnect. And it's tearing us apart, it's tearing our families apart, and it's keeping us from doing the will of God. So we're going to discuss that in many of these upcoming events, and we have some live events this summer. And it's fall. So I want you to go to our site, leavetheplantation.org, and sign up for that. And then we're going to be notifying you on the website for the book, which is Raunchy Secrets Only Wives Should Know. The name of the book. The website is God Commands Sex, because God commands us to go out and replenish the earth. So anything interfering with that is outside of the will of God. So let's discuss this for a second and understand who we are and how we are. Honestly, we can disagree. We have our own little personal internal reasons for believing what we believe. And we have internal reasons why we want to maintain our belief system, because usually they serve us. But let's talk about what God has said. And it will be conflicted between what we believe most of the time. But what God said is true. What God said is accurate. What God says is aimed at our protection and make us good. But let's look at the difference, because God said, first, God put Adam, before Eve was created, in the garden. He told Adam to keep it and protect it against all intruders. Now, therefore, folks, if God put man in the garden before Eve and told man something, that was between God and man. If God told man to keep it and protect it against all intruders, then he also would give man the ability to keep and protect against all intruders, including Satan. Satan was there. I don't know why Satan was there. We can speculate it, but Satan was there, and he came against man and God, and Adam was there. Adam had the ability because God told him the task. God will not give you a task without giving you the ability to complete the task. So if God says walk on water, you can doggone walk on water. If God says go into the furnace, you can go into the furnace. If God said stand up to the lion, you can stand up to the lion. Because God will not give you a task that you cannot do. So he told Adam to keep it and protect it, and Adam was doing pretty good. Adam had control. Adam had authority. And Eve, man, God looked at man. Man didn't look to God and say, hey, I need a woman. Man did not look to God and say, I need to be set aside. Give me something. Find something for me. He did not go to God. He didn't have any needs. He didn't have any desires. I don't know if he's lonely or not. I don't know. The Bible didn't say that. God looked at man and said, it is not good that the man shall be alone. If God says not good, then it is not good. So we have two things here that God said. God said, God told man to keep his kingdom from all intruders. God said, he stated it was not good for the man to be alone. So it seems to me that, the next sentence, God is forming Eve. So that's for our own good. Her form is for our own good. Eve is for our own good. We're not for her good. She's for our good. And she's a helpmate for our kingdom. We're not here to help you ladies get to your kingdom. We're not here to help you build your kingdom and I build my kingdom. We're not partnership in this doggone kingdom. It's my kingdom. It's my kingdom. And if you're not with a man who you can recognize that, you're with the wrong man. Because I'm not going to share my kingdom. I share my life. But I'm responsible for this kingdom. I'm responsible for what God has given me. And men has to have that. We cannot compromise our kingdom to make you happy. We cannot give up our kingdom. Eve got that from Adam. Adam gave his kingdom up. to please her. So there's the roles. God created woman. God formed woman and presented her to Adam because that's God's gift to man because man was not good without woman. Now, ladies, God gave you to us, and we should respect and honor the gift. We should adore the gift. We should love the gift, but you are not holy. You are not holy. You're special, but not to control us. So therefore, your holiness will not be worshipped. We're not going to worship you. You women keep calling yourself queens. The Bible does not call you a queen. You call yourself a queen because you want to be worshipped and you want to ask royalty. The Bible calls you a helpmate. That's a worker. I'm sorry. You're not on a pedestal. God's on the pedestal. And so if you think that your job is to be eloquent and royal and radiant and beaming and looking good every day, that's not biblical. I can't find it nowhere. There are queens in the Bible. But every female calls herself a queen. I find it amazing. So if you want to be a queen, be a queen. But that Proverbs 31 woman that every female talks about, go to conferences and preach about it. I want to be a Proverbs 31 woman. Read the book. Read Proverbs chapter 31. That woman was first a wife. She was a Proverbs 31 wife. She wasn't a girlfriend. She wasn't a baby's mama. She wasn't a thing you see. She was a wife. She wasn't a businesswoman. There wasn't no role. She had a business, but she was a wife who had a business because everything that happened in that business gave honor to her husband and her children. She worked for her man. So if you want to be a Proverbs 31 wife, you're going to be a worker in your husband's vineyards. If you don't like that, you're rebelling against God, not me, not man, not your man, if you want that. So what's the status between men and women? And how should we operate under the will of God? I have my theory. Folks, it's just my theory. I read the Bible, I look at examples, I understand, I contemplate, I pray on, and I think, and I conclude, like all of us do. It seems to me that man is designed to give women something. Seems like we are designed, every time we see you, we want to give you something. Everything about you makes us want to give you something. And you receive what we give you, whatever a man gives a woman. She multiplies it, she nourishes it, she chews on it, she thinks about it, and she returns it to you. Everything you give a woman, gentlemen, will return back to you and the other dudes in her life. So if you give her love and affection and attention and protection, she's going to give you, she's going to take that and multiply that and increase that and give you comfort and peace in return. If you give her your sperm, she's going to give you a child. She's going to multiply, she's going to change and give you a child. If you give her companionship, she's going to be the greatest companion you ever had in your life. But if you beat her behind and treat her bad and disrespect her and cuss her out, you're going to get a hard, masculine, undisciplined, angry creature that's going to eat your life away from you. Your kingdom, your control, gentlemen. So yes, women are hard to deal with today. Women are almost impossible to deal with today. Has to be man's fault. Because this is our kingdom. This is our kingdom. I've had problems with women. Come on, we all got these problems. These ladies, you don't want to mention their name without cursing. Come on now. But doggone, let's stand up as men and recognize this is our kingdom. Therefore, this is our problem. We better go before God and apologize to God, ask for forgiveness, and turn to females in general and look at them a little differently. We can't win the battle arguing and fussing and fighting. We will lose the battle doing that. Not because they're a better fighter, no, because they would turn back to what we gave them. They would give us more back. And we can abandon them and take them as we need them and cultivate using them up. I'm talking about love right now. How do you get that love from that female? You need the love. Obviously that's what God meant. He meant that because that's what he gave us so much of. Desire to love him. So I'm suggesting something. Just a little suggestion here, fellas, gentlemen. You ladies, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from you. Man, we got to do something. Gentlemen, we got to do something. I've observed something, folks. You cannot argue with a woman when you got her in your arms. You cannot argue with a female if you're embracing her. She cannot cuss you out with your arms around her. She cannot tell you that she hates you with your arms around her. She has to push away from you to fight with you. So why don't we keep our arms around each other and say things to each other that we have to say, but not in the spirit of fussing and anger and negativity? Just take the girl in your arm and say, yeah, I know I don't like your mama. I don't feel like going to her home, baby. But we got to work on that. You got to be able to say it. Ladies, you cannot understand the power of your embrace. You cannot understand it. It's not hypnotic. It's not powerful. It won't persuade us to do things we don't want to do. But what it will do is make that man listen to you. Not obey you. I don't mean listen to you as a child to a mother. But stop and listen to what you're saying. With your hands on your man, you got his attention. Something is important here. I better pay attention to what this woman is saying. Let's just try embracing each other. Let's try hugging each other. Let's try, and men, you got to hold that girl and pray over her. You have to do that. I believe that if you start your day off while she's still laying next to you in bed, before her feet hit the ground, you embrace her and you whisper a prayer in her ear, covering her. I don't mean Lord bless us, I mean covering her, ordering her steps, protecting her drive to work, protecting her come back to you, thanking for the kids. You hold that woman in your hand as her high priest, and you pray over her body before her body hits that floor. Brother, 99% of things you do that day will be okay. Because her man covered her in prayer. You don't even understand the power of that. We have the power to stop this bitterness. We have the power to stop this meanness. We have the power to stop this masculinity. We have the power to stop this move toward alpha doggone female. So it'll take us, brothers. Let's stop it. Let's take this young lady by the hand. As she passes by the daytime, keep your hands on her, pet her, tell you she's beautiful. When you wake up in the morning, launch her day, brothers. Before her feet hit that ground, launch her day. If you do that, your woman to treat me better in public, my woman to treat you better in public, women become more pleasant, more peaceful, more joyful, because that's what they are naturally. It's unnatural to see an angry woman who's angry for the heck of it. Because what did her wrong for so many times? How many men went through their life? It's unnatural. If you do that in the morning, if all of us men did that in the morning, these young ladies will settle down in the comfort of the shadow of a real man. Folks, the reason our women are so bitter, and they are, and so mean, and they are, and so loud, and so feisty, and so masculine, and they are, is because we have not been man enough to embrace them. Daddies, uncles, brothers, boyfriends, cousins, we have not used that strength. So they're trying to become the man we are not. They're trying to become aggressive. They're trying to become strong. They're trying to become leaders because we are not. So I know women are tough to get along with, brothers. I understand, brothers. I'm agreeing with you. They are almost impossible, especially certain kind of women. I'm not going to mention. But boy, we all know what I'm talking about. That's a fact. And they don't want to change. They're angry. They're fussing. I don't care about that, brother. We have to start treating our women with a little tenderness. So I pledge. Some of you can join me. When I see that hostile female in public, when I see that hostile waitress or drive-through clerk at the drive-through restaurant, when I see the woman cop acting all mean and masculine, when I see the clerk at the post office acting like she's grown and a grown man, when I see that, I'm going to be gentle. I'm going to be submissive. I'm going to be gentle. I'm going to tell her how beautiful she is. I'm going to tell her how pleasant it is to work with her. I'm going to try something. We have the power to change this fight. It's unnatural you fight with your lady. So, gentlemen, I want to know who's going to join me. I want you to join me this Sunday, the 8th. I think it's the 8th. What Sunday is it? I don't know. I'm getting old. But this is June. This is Sunday, Join me as we go to a live event inviting women to come and start learning about marriage and relationships between a husband and a wife because it is different than any relationship you have. You gentlemen think you got a great sexy woman? Tell you something. You have not had sex yet, even had had sex with her as a wife. That woman you love so much, and like so much, enjoy so much, you don't even understand the female she is until you got her as a wife who thinks you're going to give your life for her and spend your life taking care of her. If she thinks that, brother, she's going to transform herself into something you cannot even imagine. That's why God gave us wives and not girlfriends. This is Mason. See you Sunday. Stay right or be left. Eternity is a long time to be wrong. Goodbye.